Hey guys, welcome back. This is Justin with Justin Nutrition. Today's video is going to be over a highly requested topic from both my YouTube subscribers as well as my Instagram followers, and that's going to be contest prep. We're going to quickly cover over, how do you know if you're ready to prep for a show, how long should you prep for a show, what to expect versus expectations versus what you should just want out of a show, as well as, just overall, is the time right in your life? To start off, the most important factor deciding if you want to prep for a show, besides just the fact that do you really want to prep for a show, is is your metabolism healthy enough? I have multiple clients come to me who I have to be the bearer of bad news and say, we can't prep you right now because your metabolism is not healthy enough. Because you got to think, you're going to be prepping for months on end. And if you come into a show from your off season, and you're doing 3 or 4 days of cardio and your metabolism, if you're a female, is at like 12 or 1300 calories, that doesn't give you much room to work downwards because your body's going to adapt. And so the only way to fix that is to increase cardio, lower your overall calories, or in a minor scale, I guess you can increase stimulant intake just to help. But realistically, the two big things are going to be cardio versus increase or decreasing your calories. So you have to make sure your metabolism is healthy enough. And it's hard for a lot of clients to accept that fact that theirs might not be. But realistically, you gotta look at yourself, you gotta look at your health at a higher value than a trophy or a title of being, first place overall, competitor or whatever you're trying to go for. So ultimately, you need to make sure your metabolism is healthy. And having a proper coach kind of evaluate that and work with you is your first step to see if that is in fact the case. Like I said, the ideal, metabolism would be high enough to where you have a good foundation, you're on minimal to zero cardio, and you're able to work yourself down. Another, thing we'll jump into is the time right in your life to do a show? I mean, say you want to do the show, you're passionate about the sport, you're excited to do it, you get the okay, your metabolism is healthy, that's great and fine, but how is your life set up right now? Are you about to prepare for a big move? Do you have a job promotion? Are you switching jobs? Do you have a baby on the way? Is someone in your family sick? These are stresses in your life that are going to take precedence over a show. And not saying that people don't have these who compete, but is it realistic for you as yourself to be able to prep while taking on all these circumstances and unexpected circumstances? Because there's going to be things, everyone knows that, things are going to pop up in life and things are going to happen. And you got to realize this is going to be anywhere from 6 month to a 9 month prep. Well, I guess let's now go on to the next topic of why I just said 6 to 9 months. The big notion is that wherever you are physically, no matter how heavy you are or whatever, that a 12-week prep program is all you need. And that's really just flat out not true anymore. A lot of people say 12 weeks is going to be plenty for you, but realistically, unless if you're almost ready for a show going into it, you're really longer than that. I have clients who come off their off season and they're in good shape. Their metabolism is healthy. They're only about 15, maybe 20 pounds overweight from where they need to be. But even then, I still will not put them on a 12 week. I'll put them on a much longer prep for so many benefits. So to say 12 week or even a 16 week is just a standard anymore is going to set you up for failure, I would say, early. The pace that I kind of go with my clients, and I think is a great pace to have for fat loss, varies on one gender. So if you're a male, we go anywhere from about half a pound to 2 pounds fat loss per week. And if you're a female, I go for anywhere about a quarter pound to a pound at most per week. Obviously, females are a little different than males in the sense of how much they need to lose and just a couple other things. But it depends on where you're at. Some of my clients or some people who have come into working with me, they're about 30 to 40 pounds over stage weight, which is fine. It just requires a longer prep, and so we'll start off with about a 2-pound fat loss per week, and then we'll work our way down to probably about a half a pound. And same thing with females. We might start at about a pound and work our way down. It really just kind of decides on where your metabolism is and what it allows, and just kind of how quickly your body's progressing while keeping the calories relatively high. That's the goal. You want to keep your calories relatively high and cardio minimal until you need it. Cardio is more of a tool than I'd say a requirement, but it's kind of a yin and yang of, well, we can keep working your nutrition down. There's a point that I won't take further, but you can keep working it down, or you can keep it about the same, but then just burn more calories by adding cardio. So the go-to, I guess, the staple that I try is about a pound a week for my clients. Fat loss, that's going to allow you to preserve as much muscle as possible. So that way you're not sacrificing all the progress you made during your off season. You're not killing yourself at the gym, in your diet. It's still livable and still enjoyable, and we're taking it slow. With that being said, if I have a client who needs to lose about 25 pounds, I would say a minimum of 25 weeks is what we'll start them at for a prep. But realistically, I aim for about 30. Multiple reasons why with that extra 5 or 6 weeks. Like I said, there's going to be unexpected occurrences in life that you just can't plan for. There's going to be weeks where you might have to work, so much more than usual, or you might have to travel for family, or something that's going to affect maybe your sleep or increase your stress levels, to where you're not going to lose any weight that week. You might gain some, you might lose maybe like half of what you normally do, but there's going to be weeks throughout, 6 months, 7 months, however long you're prepping, where you're not going to be losing that pound, or you're not going to be losing the weight that you're supposed to be. So this gives us a little leniency to be able to adjust accordingly and not be affected in the long run by it. Additionally, we set a weight that we think you need to be at, especially for first-time clients. It's a rough estimate, but with a proper coach, you can get pretty close. But regardless, if I have you thinking we need to be at 165, and we give you the 165, if you're not there at 165, we might have to go down to 160. So by having a few extra weeks, this gives us the leniency to do so. Additionally, it's just something good to have in the sense that new age coaches and kind of the more successful coaches these days are getting their clients to peak, getting them stage ready a month out. I was always, under the impression that I wanted to be about a week out I would be stage ready. But I'm finding having my clients about a month away ready to step on stage really benefits them in the long term, in the sense that we can play around with how we want to approach your peak week. We can reverse diet you into your show, allowing you to actually fill out your muscle, not come in stringy or flat. And it also does an abundance to increase your energy levels, to really allow you to just have more energy going to stage. It's going to help with your stage presence, your physique. It's going to help you hold those poses if you're bodybuilding or figure. It's just going to do so much, because it's not only your body, but your face, your energy levels, your presence. All that's going to be translated. So really, I try to get my clients about ready about 4 weeks out. It's going to do an immense amount. Okay, so additionally, we've kind of covered, are you ready? How do you know when you're ready? The time that we should kind of set up for your prep. So let's talk about this final topic, which is the difference between wanting and expecting. This pertains mostly to first-time competitors, but also could be just kind of an awakening to those who've competed, or maybe those who have a bitter taste in their mouth from competing. There's a difference between wanting and expecting in competition. The best type of client is to have someone who wants it all. They want to win. They want to give it 100%. They want to learn. They want to benefit from this experience and absorb as much as they can knowledge-wise, and just become, passionate about the sport that much more. That's great. That's the perfect client you can have as a coach. There's a difference between that, though, and expecting. A client who just expects things. They walk in with a big ego. They think that they have a great physique, which might be the case. People tell them all the time. They think that they should win this. And that's where it kind of you get a rude awakening when you step on stage, because you could think you have the best physique, or you could think that this show that you're doing is just a stepping stone to get you to nationals, and that you're not gonna it's not as important to you as the show ahead, and you're gonna get blindsided realistically, because you don't know what the judges are gonna look for that day, what their preference is. You don't know who's gonna show up, and there's just so many different variables that if you don't give it your 100%, and if you don't come in with realistic expectations, it could end bad. You're right. You could expect to win, and you could win it all. That's great. But wouldn't you rather have the mindset of, I just want to do my best. I want to win. I want to, be satisfied with my efforts. But if I don't, then at least I'm learning something. Then opposed to, I expect to win. If I don't, then I'm gonna never give this a try again. So that's just my input on it. I've encountered both types of people. And I promise you, if you're the type of person who just wants to win, wants to give it their all, wants to just learn from the sport, you're going to be much better off in the long run. And the longevity of your career, this sport's going to last much longer. And I guess the final topic I'll cover real quick is kind of on top of, if you want to prep. Have a passion for the sport if you want to prep. I mean, you gotta love what you do, because you see so many people complain and talk about how tired they are and just really not enjoy the process. There's gonna be days, weeks, and it's gonna be tough sometimes. It's hands down, where you're gonna wake up and you're not gonna want to go do cardio or that 2 a day, or you're not gonna want to eat your whatever meals you have set up on your macro plan, or you just kind of want to cheat, or you're gonna see your friends go out and drink. And you're like, one day won't hurt. There's gonna be these times, but you have to be consistent, because there is no coach, there is no plan better off than just consistency. Being consistent is what's going to give you your best chance to win. And in the same aspect, no one's making you do this besides yourself. So if you can't find a way, in those later parts of prep where you're just tired, you're drained, and you have to work out, if you can't find a way of finding some kind of twisted pleasure in the pain, then why are you doing it? Enjoy the process. Because there's no better feeling than to walk off that stage knowing you gave it 100%, knowing that you did everything you could for the last 6-7 months, or whatever you did for prep, did everything you possibly could. And regardless if you win or not, you to reflect on that kind of self-worth, it just increases your self-worth, it builds your self-confidence. It's why people become addicted to this sport. The winning aspect is great, but to reflect and know that you set out a goal that, to win, or you set out a goal to do something and you achieved it, you followed through with it, it's such a great feeling. And that's why I honestly think most people stick with this sport. People think it's such a vain sport, but there's so much camaraderie, I can't say it. There's so much friendship and bonding in this that it's a great sport. I love what I do. I love helping people reach that success, finding this passion, and it's just something great to be a part of. But yeah, that's kind of what I want to cover today. Have a great day, guys. Go lift something and be consistent.